A Pulitzer Prize is one of the most prestigious awards a newspaper or a writer can ever get.
And one Houston woman now has 3, a record match by only famed writers like Edward Albee and Carl Sandberg.
And our anchor Melanie Lawson sat down with the winner of those 3, Chronicle columnist Lisa Falkenberg.
Lisa Falkenberg was only 36 when she won her first Pulitzer Prize.
You know, I think the feeling was relief because at that time, the Chronicle had never won a Pulitzer. And the year before I was a finalist, and so it kind of got everyone excited.
In 2015, Falkenberg followed the wrongful conviction of a man who spent 12 years behind bars. She helped to get Alfred Dwayne Brown freed.
My colleagues would come by and say, this is really good work you're doing, keep on, keep on. And then they started mentioning, you know, maybe this is a contender for a Pulitzer. So by the time the awards came around, I felt so much pressure. And so in that moment, I just said, okay, it's done. It's done. The Chronicle has a Pulitzer.
But she wasn't done. The next Pulitzer in 2022 went to the newspaper's editorial team she headed up, a series of stories looking into voter fraud in Texas after the 2020 elections. Falkenberg knows Texas well. She grew up in Seguin. Her dad, a truck driver, her mom, a homemaker.
I think they had heard of a Pulitzer, of course. But I had to kind of explain exactly what it was. Normally you say, oh, you know, it's the Oscar of journalism. They've always been, you know, really proud of me. My father has encouraged me at times when in college, I had a rough patch and I wasn't sure I wanted to continue with journalism. I wasn't sure that I had what it took. And he just encouraged me and said, yes, you do. This is what you want to do. And don't you dare stop. We're talking about the main problem is kids trying to get to school.
She took her dad's advice. The Chronicle's editorial team has now been nominated twice in 4 years, a remarkable record. Their latest win was for a series of stories on students in poor neighborhoods who have to cross railroad tracks just to get to school. And then a Albee High School student was killed by a train.
Sergio Rodriguez. And when that happened, I wish we could have done something to prevent it. But we certainly jumped on that story, covered it, covered who he was, what his friends had to say about him and just what their lives are like, trying to get around these trains to get to school and calling for change.
Falkenberg has now gone back to her first love, writing columns.
Or, you know, the people in Washington who
But she knows that some topics they've tackled have made readers angry, even threatening.
But the fact is, you have to tell the truth. You have to tell the stories that are important to people's lives. And if you don't, the readers, the audience, won't trust you anyway.
Even though the Chronicle now has 3 Pulitzers, she says there's nothing like the first time.
Yeah, I think that the first one really was a game changer for me because coming from Seguin, first in my family to go to college, that was not a foregone conclusion that I'd go to college even. And I applied to one school, the only one I'd step foot on, you know, University of Texas. Thank God they let me in. I think that first one, everybody took pride in it, you know, from the security guard to, you know, my colleagues there in the newsroom. Everybody had a smile on their face, and there were, you know, parties, and you know, it was really exciting. And one of my daughters said the other day, "Mom, this third one, it's kind of like the third child." And I said, no, actually, I was super excited about my third child. And I'm excited about this too.
Melanie Lawson, 13 Eyewitness News.